In this lesson, we'll build some shoulder guards from existing geometry. So many times if you're building a piece that needs to fit with another piece that maybe you've already created, it will make sense to use that piece as a base to create the new piece. So for instance, we have this opening for the arms, and we want to create these sort of shoulder guards here that need to fit inside that opening. So we could create a new piece of geometry and start to fit it inside here after we create it, or we can use geometry from this opening to create that so that we already get that sort of fitted part, and then we just need to build the rest of it. So in order to do that, let me go ahead and hit 1 on the keyboard, and then I'm just going to select some faces underneath here. And so let's go ahead and just select all the way across here. So I'm going to leave 1 at the bottom and 3 on the back side. And then I don't want to damage the geometry underneath. I don't want to extract these polygons out. I actually want to just duplicate them. So let's go to Edit Mesh, Face, Duplicate. That gives us the new geometry, but if we look in our outliner, we'll see that it's still inside of this polysurface node. So let's hit Shift P to pull that out, and now it's sitting at the bottom by itself, which is what we want. Let's begin by taking some edges here right on the side. So I'll just click, Shift, double click on the other edge, and then we'll go to Edit Mesh, Edge, and we'll extrude that out. And let's just kind of pull it out a little bit. Now we can come to the side here. We can begin to move some of these points around. Now the points on the back we can't really see, so we just kind of have to figure that out. But up here on the front, we can kind of see where this needs to kind of flow up. All right, and now we can use Bridge to create some kind of geometry that's going to curve around. So let's select these 2 bottom edges right here, and let's go to, we're still working with edges, so we'll go to Edge, under Edit Mesh, and let's do a bridge. Now we don't want a linear path, we want a smooth path. So let's choose smooth path, and let's set our divisions to 6. And we'll go ahead and do that bridge. Now let's come in and start to modify these points a little bit. So let's take these kind of up here. This is sort of the back. And just start to create a little bit more of this shape. Okay, we'll pull these bottom ones kind of up here. This would want to be sort of where the back of that would be. And we can add some geometry as we go, but we just want to get kind of the basic shape of it. You can see here, gives you kind of a little bit more of an indication of where those points should probably go. Kind of bring those in a little bit. So something like that, we can always kind of smooth it out. But the next thing that we want to do is I want to select 2, 3, 4, 5 of these edges, and let's select 5 of these edges across there. And let's go back into Edge, Bridge, and this time we'll set our divisions to 1. We'll bridge across there. Now let's double click on these 2 openings here. Go to Mesh, Fill Hole. And that gets our basic shape. Now it's not exactly where we want, so we can come in and start to tweak this, but it becomes pretty easy to do just because it's very low res. So we can come in, and this point here, probably want to kind of pull this in to kind of smooth it off a little bit. We can start to bring some of these points in. All right, now when we hit 3 on our keyboard, we get a nice smooth shape. 3 to smooth that, and you can see how it matches up with the shape there. Now you still may want to come in and kind of grab these points so they get a little bit of a a smoother look, so it's not quite as bumpy. But you don't want to move the points that are close to the opening because then you'll start to get some gaps in there. Now we need to add some thickness to it as the last kind of piece, and so let's take our faces and we'll do an extrude, and we'll pull these in the Z to add a little bit of thickness to it. Okay, again hitting 3, you can see it becomes very smooth. So let's now use our insert edge loop tool strategically to kind of create a much sharper edge. So something like that. All right, so now that we've got our shoulder guard created from this piece, the next thing we'll do is to create a shoulder and upper arm. So as we start to get into the arms and legs, things should start to go a little bit quicker because those are going to be much simpler shapes than some of the shapes that we've been working up with to this point. So we'll go ahead and begin that process in the next lesson.